Welcome, soul family, to today's Source First channel card read and teachings. First of all, I am going to cleanse the cards with the tinctures. My lovely Susie, if you would watch your ears, there's going to be 3 sharp twangs. Lovely. So I'm going to use 3 decks today. We have got the Starcodes Astro Oracle, the Sacred Forest, and my trusty Animal Spirit Guide. Now, if anybody doesn't want to watch the shuffle, okay, I prefer to shuffle on camera for authenticity. But if you don't want to watch that, I put the timestamps right in the description box. You can quickly go to those, no problem. Okay, 2 from there. Let's see what Spirit wants to give us from here. I've already done pre-shuffles for all the decks, all 3 decks, and I have asked Source to be a direct channel through me for the collective to bring the messages that they want you to hear if you're energetically aligned. You'll see in this video on your YouTube page, it is for you. The messages are for you. Whether you know that you're on your ascension journey or not. What do you want to tell the collective today, Spirit? Oh, and onto the lovely Malachite. Look at this gorgeous crystal. Now I have a wonderful supplier. If anybody's in the northwest area, he is at Cheetham Hill, on Cheetham Hill Road. It's called My Crystal World. The lovely Mr. Atik, very knowledgeable, very calming, very healing presence he's got. I went and had a visit with him yesterday. Haven't seen him for a long time, and came away with this beautiful malachite stone, which is the stone of transformation, it's called, an inner cleansing, really deeply rooted to the heart chakra and the solar plexus. And I love doing work with the solar plexus because that is the seat of our intuition and where we're connected to source, to our higher self, to our oversoul. And the malachite stone is about deep transformation, an emotional breakthrough. It provides protection, as most stones do, and it's all about leadership. Right, I think we're done with that deck. So 1 from that one. And what else do you want to say from this Spirit Oracle deck? Spirit Animal Oracle deck. Canary. And 1 more, please, Spirit. There we go. Thank you. Lovely. So these 3 last, then that one and that one. There we go. Okay, so this is a brand new deck to me. This is the Starcodes Astro Oracle by Roan Robbins. Let's see what this has got to say. So card number 40, which boils down in numerology or angel numbers to a 4, which is about divine protection, ascended masters being around you, spiritual support and encouragement. And the message from the card is resources. Now, this is about your 2nd house and the astrology. Now, I do not profess to know a lot about astrology. If any of you guys want to learn about your natal chart, I spoke about this yesterday with a client. You can go to a free link, cafeastrology/natalchart.com, and you basically put in your date of birth, the place you were born, and if you want to put your first name, you can do. And it will throw up all your astrology there, and it's totally free. It also sends out loads of information about your character traits and stuff like that, but really specifically the wheel, the astrology wheel, is there, and from that you can then glean where all your houses are in your chart, and that's all to do with where the planets were when you were born, and that's why they ask about the time that you were born. If you don't know your time, or you can't find access to the time, then you can just put midday, and that gives you a rough idea. But yeah, find out about your second house resources. That to me obviously is about money. You can see the golden coins there, and it's like the apple there has got the branch through it. It's like a target, isn't it? It's like bullseye. We've literally got resources coming in. Spirit is telling you they are around you, guiding you towards this money manifestation. And it is about money, not that manifestation is only about money. So for those who haven't heard me speak on this before, manifestation is about asking for abundance in every area of your life. That's what I ask for when I am putting my intentions towards manifesting. So it's about health and joy and peace and soul family and love and money. So it's about everything, encompasses every aspect of your life, not just about money. Money does not make you happy. I've been both ends of the spectrum. I've been in absolute abstract poverty where I've not been able to afford to eat for days, and I've also had hundreds of thousands of pounds. So I know which is best. Happy medium would be in between, yes, but money for me buys freedom only. It doesn't buy happiness, it doesn't buy joy, and it certainly doesn't buy your health. So that's why when we're manifesting, we ask for everything to encompass that. But this specifically is talking about cash, the golden coins. Resources are coming in for you, and remembering that we go back from the counselling perspective, from the mind-based perspective, we go back to childhood and look at the relationship that we have with money. You know, what have we been brought up to believe that money is? Some people say that money is dirty, that it's evil, it's the root of all evil. You know, money doesn't grow on trees. You know, there's lots of ways that we've been brought up around money, but money is just energy. It's just an exchange of energy. Yes, if it's got ill intentions behind it, then it will become bad, but if it's got good intentions behind it, then it will become good. Okay, so don't get hung up on money. And if you do have an issue with like finances, let's look at why. Ping me, you know, send me a message on the website, perfecttherapies.online. We can look at why. The physical body also manifests pain in the back, in the lower elements of the back, to do with finances, and not about like actually physically not having it, but the relationship that we have with money. All very interesting. Oh, I love this. Look, I'm Aquarius. Love that. And that's an 11. Oh wow, 11. So that's a master number. We don't break that down into single digits with angel numbers or numerology. And 11s are all about your intuition and your spiritual insight, your illumination and your innate inspiration. And you can see there the typical Aquarius is the water bearer, and so the message from the card is collaborate. So you're being asked to collaborate, and you can see that it's taking one person to pour into the chalice of that the other person is holding, and so it's a reciprocal agreement. So who do you need to collaborate with? So collaboration, like with the modern terminology for social media, tends to be when one business is supported another. I don't particularly think it's about that though. I think it's more of a personal thing, and maybe to do with family, where you kind of like all on the same page, you're all working toward the same goal. A collaboration brings harmony, it brings support and diversity, doesn't it? Because you've got different ideas looking at the same subject matter. And many eyes are a good thing, aren't they? So 11, Aquarius, collaborate. Then we have got the beautiful Sacred Forest cards here. Only one, but that's by Denise, Linn. I love this deck. I've actually got one in the cabin, and then I have one at home as well, because I love the deck so much. I don't want to be without it in either place where I work. So we've got here now Generosity, the maple spirit. That's a beautiful maple tree. So red, all to do with the root chakra. And the card number is 23, which is a 5 in angel numbers and numerology, which is about major life transformations. Remembering that the cycles that we are in go from 1 to 10, so 5 midway is kind of when we have learned the lesson that we have agreed to on a soul aspect. And we are alchemizing that newness of the learned aspect of the cycle before we then go on to 6, 7, 8 and 9 and incorporate it completely into our life. So it's about shifting gears and releasing the old beliefs that come with that. Generosity, I mean, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? When I like to talk about gratitude a lot, because we don't appreciate what we've actually got. And I talked about this in one of the videos the other day about arigatoing money that leaves you to pay a bill. The Japanese say arigato when money put my teeth in, when money is given out. But we can have the mindset of, oh my God, I've got to pay the gas bill. You know, I've got to pay the car hire. I've got to pay the mortgage. I've got to pay the rent. And it's that we do it like begrudgingly, but the fact that we've actually got that money to pay that bill, surely that's a bonus, isn't it? And the small things, like, well, literally it's not small, but waking up in the morning, that's major gratitude, isn't it? I actually had the gratitude symbol tattooed on me, lest I forget, you know, that I am very, very abundant in my life. Even though I might not be exactly where I want to be right now, like forever, I am still very, very abundant. And we must remember that, you know, the majority of people who are watching this in the collective, you know, we've all got food in our cupboard, okay, basic food in our cupboard. You know, we're not talking luxuries like champagne and caviar, though some might have, but, you know, we've all got enough staples in our cupboards that we can make food with, okay? That's a huge bonus. A lot of people don't have that. We've got a choice of clothes, you know, we've got warmth, we've got running water. You know, remember these small aspects. And I know that the card says generosity and I'm talking about gratitude, but that comes with it. So when we don't have massive amounts of free cash, let's say, free funds, we tend not to be generous. But when we are giving generously, like for example, this is a reminder to me as well as part of the collective, because I haven't done this for a while, so I'm going to do this today. I have an app on my phone, I can't remember what it's called, but I'll link it in the messages or the description. I can only actually put links in the messages, so I'll put it as a message, okay? The app is about feeding families in other countries that don't have access to food like we do. And so every time I eat, I mean, I only eat once a day. I'm a nomad, so I fast and I only eat once a day. But when I do eat, generally I send, I think it's like 60p, something like that for a meal, 67p, something like that. And I give a meal, I pay for, what's 67p? You probably find more than that down the back of your sofa, wouldn't you? You know? But give, because we tend to, like, when we don't have a massive amount, like I said, of cash, we hold on to it, you know, we grasp onto it and we don't want it to go. But when we give, when we are generous of spirit, and it doesn't have to be about money, I'm just using that as an example, but when we give generously, that is so high vibrational, you know. And yes, we don't give to receive, but you do get back because you're giving out. That's your karma. You are creating good karma by being generous. And so that is what Spirit is asking you to do. I'm not saying Spirit is asking you to give money. I'm saying that Spirit is asking you to be generous, even with kind words, okay? Even be generous of your language, you know, the words that you use, even to yourself. Be generous in every aspect of your day, and you'll see huge results. Okay, back onto my old favorites, the Animal Oracle Spirit. This is number 4 again, which we had for the first card there, number 40, all about stability and structure. And Badger Spirit is saying, be fearless and bold. You know, why we are so constricted by upbringing and society. And I was talking about this again yesterday with my client, where, you know, I'm 51. So my parents were brought up by war babies. Okay, they were actually in the war when they were growing up, my parents. But their parents and what they had learned, what was instilled into them was then taught to my parents. And my parents were really good people, don't get me wrong. I'm not you know, saying a word against them. They were brought up harsh, you know, harshly. There wasn't enough of anything, and that does something to a person. You know, you learn to be fearful of everything, and that then gets passed on to the next generation, which is my generation, and then normally it would get passed on to the next generation, which is my children's generation. Well, I am a generational cycle breaker, and I felt that was something that needed to be healed in my family's lineage, and so that's what I have done. I am now fearless and bold. Nothing scares me, nothing. I have absolutely been into the, you know, the realm of it all, seen it, and literally managed to alchemize it all. So nothing scares me, and that's not me being blasé and cocky. I'm literally telling you what I've managed to alchemize in my lifetime, and which is why I am now qualified to do these readings for you guys, to help heal you, help you heal yourself. I don't heal you, help you to heal yourself based on my understanding, my experiences, and my actual changing of my upbringing, and changing the generational cycles that have been created because of fear and meekness, you know. And not everybody's the same, and this will either resonate with you or not. If it's not for you, scroll on by. But literally, Spirit is saying to you not to be afraid of anything. We are consumed by fear, and I call it false evidence appearing real. FEAR. The brain, remember, tries to protect you. It's a survival mechanism, and it doesn't want you to try something new because it doesn't know the outcome, and that's not prominent with keeping you alive, is it, basically? So the brain will try to keep you limited, keep you small, keep you in parameters that it knows, but remembering that you are soul first in this physical body. Okay, be fearless and bold. The next card out is number 12, which is a 3, and is all about creative expression and communication and your social connection, about divine protection and your ascended masters being around you again. Really, you are so supported by your team. And Canary Spirit, the message for that is sing your own song. So that just ties in, doesn't it, with the be fearless and bold. Shout about who you are. You're literally wearing a crown. You know, you have the authority to do that, as I've just said about myself to you. You know, I can say that without any afraidness, any reticence of, you know, somebody telling me that I'm not able to do that, because I know myself and I know that I can. And that's what Spirit is saying to you. You can. You look at you've been crowned. What is it that you've been through? Every experience that you've been through has created you in this very moment now, in this now moment. And you are a warrior. You know, think about the things that you've gone through and how far you've come. Just look back a year to where you were emotionally and spiritually, and look at you now. Sing your own song. You are absolutely qualified to do that. Oh, and I love this, the L Spirit, that we see clearly now because we've got the support from the highest, from the team, and we have a higher perspective. And that's the number 7, which is all about your spirituality, your inner wisdom, your innate inner standing of what is going on, the fact that you are now aware that there is more than we are taught. And the message is, you see clearly now. You just see everything from a higher perspective, and that is a wonderful card to end on. Thank you so much to you all for listening. Remember, the timestamps are in the description box, and namaste to spirit. Many blessings to your day.